A boy died in our jury of 11 white people and 1 black man. In the foreman of the jury being black. We ready for trial. Okay? Now, the whole time, they had brought back the guy who had lied on me, and they had been trying to get him to testify against me. We don't know this. We don't know that the guy has been refusing to testify because he's been telling them since day one, after he initially lied, he's been telling them that man is innocent. That man is innocent. I can't testify against that man. That man is innocent. Prosecutor never told us that. You know what they do? They go out and indict his wife on capital murder. And they tell him, you're going to testify against Graves, or we're going to charge your wife. So this man said, well, I was between a rock and a hard place. I knew I had lied on Mr. Graves, and they had him in there 2.5 years. And now they're telling me that if I didn't go in there and finish, that they're going to go back and they're going to charge my wife. He says, Mr. Graves' kids have a mother. But if I don't do what they want me to do, my kids will not have a mother or a father. So I had to do the lesser of the 2 evils. He lied on Mr. Graves. When they put him in that jury box and they asked him, who was the man that was with you the night that you committed these murders? Could you point him out to us? Is he in the courtroom? And this man pointed at me like this. And that was good enough. That was good enough. It took the jury 8 hours. I heard them back there. They were crying. They were shouting. They were arguing with each other. And then they came out. And the judge asked me to stand up. And he asked the jury for their verdict, for their piece of paper. And they passed it to him. The black foreman passed it to him, and I seen tears in his eyes. He was crying as he passed his verdict to the judge. And then the judge looked at me, and he read the verdict. Guilty. Guilty. Just like that, my whole life changed. Now, the state got to decide whether or not they kill me. And the burden of proof shifts to me now, to save my life. So my attorney comes to me and he says, Anthony, we need someone to go up there and talk about your character. Do you have anybody that can speak on your behalf? And I just shook my head. No. They said, well, what about your family? I said, no. He said, why, man? We need to save your life. I said, man, I'm not going to let my family be a part of this joke. This is a joke, man. How do I go from my home to death row for a crime that happened in another town? I don't even know the people. The people don't even know me. But I'm going to death row? This is a joke. And I'm not going to let my family be a part of it. But reluctantly, I agreed because they wanted to do it. And I sit there and I listen to my family get up and talk about me as a man, the kind of person I was. And they're begging this jury to save my life, spare my life for something I didn't do. Please. This is my son. This is my dad. So I had 3 boys. They were young. But my oldest son had sickle cell anemia. And every time he would get sick and have to go to the hospital, I was always there. I would have to spend nights with him at the hospital sometimes. He and his mother and I, we would take turns, depending on how long he would have to be there. I watched my son go up and get up on this witness stand and beg these folks to save his dad's life. Because he said, my dad is my strength. With my dad, I feel strong. Please don't kill my dad. They sentenced me to death anyway. No evidence, no nothing. 11 white people and 1 black man sentenced me to death for a crime that happened in another time. I go to death row. Simply because a man thought he seen me in a truck, called my name, and it changed my whole world. It changed the whole world of my family. And so now I'm headed to death row in 1994, November the 1st. And I remember the day they came to get me. They cut off all the telephones in the jail because they didn't want no inmate making no phone calls because they was moving this ruthless killer to death row. They made me get on the bench, put my knees up on the bench while they shackled me, treated me like an animal, strip searched me. I'm on my way to death row. And so when you get to death row, that's this big old sign as you walking down the hall. Texas death row. Very intimidating. And you walking down and I'm shackled and I got 2 officers walking with me. And as you walking through the hall, they have general population inmates who's been there for less included officers or whatever. And they're in the hallway making commissary work. And all of a sudden these guards start shouting at them. Get against the wall. Turn around. Don't look at it. Because see, I was the next dead man walking for a crime I did not even commit. But I was walking on death row in your name. Citizens of this state, in your name. You were going to kill me for something I didn't even do. And you was going to go on about your business. Because you believe in your system. And that's what our politicians, that's what they want you to do. It makes it easier for them. Trust me, they tell you. We'll lock up the bad guy. You can sleep good at night. So you say, okay, you just take the keys. Just make sure they don't come in my house. And then they just go out and they round up whoever they can. Whoever they can convict. They can't convict the rich. They go in there, they can fight them. But me, I didn't have nothing. The man tell me, he said, I want $150,000 to represent you. I believe you're innocent. I've never seen that money in my life. Then, at the end, he got off my case and he wrote me a letter. Well, you couldn't even pay the $150,000. I had to get off your case, but I believe in your innocence.